Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be showing you all of my favorite variegated plants. Now it could be any variegation. It could be white variegation, it could be a deeper green or all types of green variegation. I have some pink variegation going on some plants. So let's just jump right into it. A lot of these are Hoya, believe it or not. I have quite a few variegated Hoya, which is really exciting. Some are teeny tiny leaves, some are big giant leaves. So let's just get right into it. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is probably one of my mom's favorites. This is my Hoya Crimson Princess, and it has some lighter green variegation there with some white in the center. And then the new growth comes in pink, which I just think is so incredible, so pretty. It's almost like the green parts are this deep black burgundy color, and then the white parts of the mature leaf come in this pink color. But let's see, what's one of the older leaves on here? Probably something like this. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, look at that variegation. So pretty. So how you can tell a Crimson Princess from a Crimson Queen is the princess has green on the outside of the leaves, so it's kind of lined in green. And the queen herself, which we'll get into next, might as well, has variegation on the outside, so the outside is white. So it's pretty easy to tell them apart, but when you first glance at them, you may get them confused, because I got them confused for a long time. Why do you guys always have to be in the kitchen when I'm recording? Or lay down and be quiet. Now, my Crimson Queen has a gorgeous, long, trailing vine here, but it also has this really wonky one, which I'm not sure what's gonna happen with it, but it went from having some variegation to completely white. This strand is just not photosynthesizing well at all. Look at that. Like, what's going on with you, little guy? He's not gonna turn green. It did branch off from this one, which you can see there's like some half moons in there, but you know, the rest of the plant is doing really well. So if this one little strand dies off, it's not the end of the world. Another gorgeous plant. I also have to give these plants a little bit of water. They're due for some nutrient water top offs, so I'm gonna do that afterwards, so I'm not gonna put these away yet. Next up, another Hoya, my Hoya Curtisii. Now this one has the teeniest, tiniest little leaves. Aren't they cute? Like, they're super small, but there's definitely some variegation in there, and I think it's really, really pretty too. Almost like a splash. This plant has not been doing very much for me, but I do have hope because the other day it put out this tiny little leaf down here at the bottom of this vine. So I have some hope that it's gonna do some growing soon. There's also this fresh vine. Sorry, this is my label, it's in the way. That's growing up here. It's like a fresh, bright green color. So I know it's gonna do something. It's just not putting out very many leaves. Where's your foliage? Where is it at? Next up is my Hoya Obovata Splashy Splash. This is such a pretty plant. I love how the leaves are just super variegated with all different kinds of green. Let a ball down. With all kinds of green variegation in there. And then the centers are like this white color. It's almost just like a really bright neon green. It's not even really a white, but so pretty. It looks like a galaxy. And this plant has some new leaves coming. It's doing really, really well. Now this one, which has not done very much growing, but I'm hoping the summertime brings it a little bit more growth and some fertilizing, because I started fertilizing my soil plants the other day. This is my Hoya Compacta Variegata, my Hindu rope. And as you can see, this has the white on the outside variegation going on there. Super curly, compact leaves. I love this plant. It's so cool. And then got some on this side too. It just hasn't been putting out a ton of new foliage. It was in bloom. It bloomed like 3 times for me, which is so exciting. And it is putting out some new leaves here. I don't know if you can see all of those baby leaves coming in there. There's like a cluster of them. which is really cool. So I'm hoping to see some more blooms and to see what color these leaves are, because it almost seems like the babies come in that pink color. I think that's the case with a lot of different Hoya. They come in with this like pinkish, burgundy, spotty variegation, and then it turns to this green white variegation, which is so much fun. There's some sap coming out of one of them. Okay, we'll just go with the Hoya theme. We'll start with all the Hoya and then we'll go into the other plants. This is my Hoya Rebecca. Now this doesn't have a ton of variegation on it for the most part. It's mostly green, but it is kind of spotty. You can see some speckles there. So I count that as variegation because I think that it's super cute. It's not a solid green leaf, so there's some fun going on there. My Hoya Rebecca, she's so cute. There's a ton of new leaves coming in there too, which I'm really excited about. Such a cute plant. Here's another little guy. This is my Mirabilis, my Hoya Mirabilis. Definitely splashy. I don't know if you can see. Hold on, let me take this out. There we go. See how this has some speckles on it? A little more so than the Rebecca. It's such a weird looking plant. This kind of almost reminds me of a Shepherdii, like just with the super elongated leaves, but it's cute, it's different. And for a long time, I didn't think this was growing, and it finally put out a new stem with some new leaves, so it's quite exciting. This plant has grown so much. This is my Hoya Pubicalyx. This is the Royal Hawaiian. And with these, the leaves come in this super deep, dark green, and it's super speckly. That was probably the newest leaf on this vine. Here's the second to newest. Look at that splash. How pretty is that? I love this plant. And then once the leaves get a little bit more mature, depending on how much light it's getting in certain spots, it just becomes more of a brighter green color, but still has all that speckly variegation. Such a pretty plant. I love this plant so much. And it's constantly putting out new leaves. Like all of these up here, these are all new. They love their grow lights, don't you? I'm realizing as I'm grabbing these off of my shelves that I think I'm gonna need to really do some investing in some trellis, or just maybe put them all on a top shelf and just let them all trail. How pretty would that be? But I know Hoya do love to climb, so I think I'm going to invest in some different trellis. Now this is probably one of my biggest Hoya that I have. It literally started off with just a couple leaves and it has gotten so big. Whoa. And like, the leaves are so gorgeous, but also it has these super hardy stems. Like almost like if I train this to grow up, this can easily become like a tree form Hoya. It would look so pretty, but this is probably one of my favorite leaves that I have in my collection. It's almost got like this silvery pink variegation to it, and then obviously that bright green color. And these Hoya leaves are so thick and just waxy and perfect. I love them. This is another one that has a ton. Whoa! See, it's strong enough to knock my camera over. Okay, okay, calm down. See that? Beautiful, look at that variegation. Oh, I would get closer, but I want to knock my camera down. But this plant has just, it just won't stop growing, and it sucks up the water like it's, I think it needs a bigger pot. I think it needs a bigger water reservoir because this plant can't keep up with my waterings. It's dry. Every time I go to water it every couple of weeks, dry. So she's telling me something, you know? Okay, my Carnosa Stardust. This is another favorite. This one has been growing like crazy as well. When I got this plant, I think it was about 3 leaves, and I've had it for only about a year, and it's grown this much since then, which is insane to me. But let's look at this gorgeous variegation there. How pretty is that? It's definitely got a little galaxy appeal to it, which is why I love the Stardust name. Now, some people would argue that this is just a regular old Carnosa that is just has a little variegation to it. That the name Stardust was made up. Some people DM'd me that. I really don't care like what the name is. I'm looking at the plant and how pretty it is, and I'm purchasing them based on that. So like value and names and how they grew, none of that really matters to me. If I look at a plant and I think it's pretty and I'm attracted to it and I love it and I'm like, oh, I want to have that for my collection, then I'm gonna buy it, as long as it's affordable. One more look. She's a beauty. Oh, I have one more Hoya. How can I forget? This is my Carnosa Gray Ghost, and she's another one of my faves. I'm actually getting ready to chop and propagate this, and I'm gonna share it with some friends, but this has a very gray, silvery variegation in it. It's almost like the entire leaf is gray and it's speckled with green. That's how much variegation it has. Look at that. How pretty is that? Oops, my donkey tail, sorry. When I got this, it was also only a couple of leaves, and it's grown pretty nicely over the past year. So it's time to chop, prop, and send to some friends. Now that was my last Hoya. Now I'm gonna get into my leafier plants. Let's start with my Peperomia Parallel. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you would have seen in past videos that I've quite damn near given up on this plant, and I am so glad that I didn't fully toss this in the trash, because after I got my grow lights, I think it likes me again. It was down to just a couple leaves, and now look at how beautiful it is. I've always loved this plant. Some people call it a mini watermelon peperomia, but it is, the Peperomia Parallel is what it's more commonly known as. And it's just putting out all of these pretty vines, and it has this really pretty variegation. When it first comes in, it's almost like a pink, and then it fades down to green, but the veining on it gives it this variegated look. Like, look at how pretty that is. Like little mini watermelons. Looks like a flower. So gorgeous. And it's starting to trail. I'm falling in love with this plant again. I am. All right, now I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of this pothos is. You'll probably yell it at the screen as you're watching this. But for the longest, I thought that this was just a marble queen pothos, and it's not. It starts with an M. I'm gonna put it on the screen. But I have it in water because I was propagating it, and I think it's time to plant it up, but I'm gonna wait until we move to do it. But how gorgeous is the variegation on this? I mean, it is stunning. And it's grown quite a bit in this water. Like all these leaves, these are all new leaves. Pothos do great in water. I just want to give it some nutrients, and I want it, other than super thrive, and I want it to be able to just grow into this big, beautiful, lush plant that I could share with people, because apparently this is a little bit on the more uncommon side of pothos, which is interesting to me because I didn't really know what it was until someone told me, or a few of you told me actually. But the variegation is so pretty. So yeah, we're gonna pot her up soon. This is my Syngonium Wendlandii. I could be saying that wrong, but it recently put out this brand new stem, and it's growing leaves so cute. Like, look at this new little leaf. How adorable is this? And look at that variegation. I mean, okay, so I'm really not one to love Syngonium, but over the past few months, I've gotten gifted a few Syngonium, different kinds. You'll see another one here soon. Let me tell you, I am loving them, and it could be my next favorite species of plant, dare I say. Look at how gorgeous. I mean, this variegation is so pretty. So pretty. Oh, I forgot to grab another Syngonium. Hold on. We'll do this one next since I have it. This is the, what is it called? The Blushing Arrowhead. It has another name, I'm sure, but it is a Syngonium, but it's like, it's not the strawberry one, but it's like got this pink variegation to it. So the leaves that come in are just this dark pink. This was a bigger plant. I don't know what I did. I think I may have overwatered it and there was some root rot. So since then it's just put out this new leaf, and this is like the last leaf on it. But when it was a full plant, the leaves were like half green, half pink, bright pink. It was really, really pretty.
Did you know I get my peaches out in Georgia?
Okay, next up is my Syngonium Albo. Love is an understatement, this plant. I mean, let's just take a second, okay? We'll take a few seconds. How stunning is this? This was a gift from my good friend Adam. I do know that Becca has one as well, and a few other YouTubers have Syngonium Albos. And it is one plant that I highly sought out and was secretly in love with, but just couldn't afford the damn thing. And I'm very lucky to have this plant. So once it starts growing, your girl is gonna snip, chop and prop, and share this beaut. I am so in love with it. Like, look at this. How pretty. Even just the leaf form is so pretty. I love that. It almost looks like a little deer with little ears. It's got a new leaf coming in here, coming in hot. I mean, the variegation on it is unmatched. Okay, my camera's overheating. Your girl needs a new camera. But take a second, watch this little commercial break, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. So next up is my Philodendron Rio Sport, and this one has some, it's almost like a creamier variegation, if that makes any sense. It's got like, it's not bright white. Okay, stop. Come on, guy. Here. There. Okay, so it's not like this bright white, but it's almost like a cream, right? Like almost like a gray cream variegation in there. It's different. Those are the newest leaves, so that's kind of how they come in. Focus. But yeah, I do love this plant, and it actually just sprouted out a new vine down here, so it's kind of white. Kind of white, kind of cream. I don't know, but the Rio Sport, and also I think it needs a bigger pole. Next, in the philodendron realm of things, we have my Birken. Now this is so weird. Like, this boggles my mind how this variegation is, because it's very stripy, but so pretty. Look at that. How the heck do these leaves come in like that? Look at that. Also, I don't know why these are like so curly, but this is one hefty stem. I just don't know why these leaves are coming in like not very big, a little curly. I don't know. Maybe it needs some. Did I fertilize this one? I don't think I did. Maybe that's why it's yelling at me. Okay, this is my Syndapsus Silvery Ann, and I am in love with her. I did trim it, probably like to about there, put on all this new growth. It's just so happy. But the variegation on this plant has always just been completely stunning to me. It's this super soft leaf, and it has these gorgeous silvery spots of variegation. So, so, so pretty. And it's on every single leaf. Like, there are no solid green leaves. It's just consistent throughout. Very easy plant, you guys. Very easy. We'll start with the little babe, my Monstera Albo. I grew this from a wet stick, and I'm very excited about it. It's still a little baby, but there's a third leaf popping in here that I can barely see, but it has 2 leaves here, and they're just so cute. I'm really, really excited about this plant and to see it grow and get big. I mean, the variegation is just so pretty. I'm thinking of putting it back into a Ziploc bag for some extra moisture. I'm noticing just a little bit, the slightest bit of browning on the side there, which that'll happen with your variegated plants, especially in areas that are the white variegation. They're just not as strong as the parts of the leaf that are green. So sometimes they turn brown depending on lack of humidity, maybe too high of humidity, overwatering, underwatering. It could be a number of things. But I think that with this guy, it's humidity issues. So, because it was really happy when it was in a Ziploc bag. Last, but certainly not least, is my Thai Constellation. My Monstera Thai Constellation. I know, she's so pretty. So, I mean, you know, she's not gigantic. She doesn't have the most fenestrations. In fact, she only has one. You can see it right there, a little split. This is the newest leaf here, which hasn't even hardened off yet. But look at that speckle. It's a little heavy, so I'm having a little hard time. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Oh, I just want to look at it. So pretty. I don't know, I just like to chop and prop and to create like more plants out of the ones I have. So I'm thinking about doing that. I have done it once before with this plant and she did totally fine. Monsteras are very easy plants, and going from like a regular Monstera, green Monstera deliciosa, to a Thai Constellation, no care difference for me. There really is no care difference. Just enough light, enough water. This one's in Leca, and that's pretty much it. So I'm curious, leave it in the comment section below. What is your favorite variegated plant in your collection? Just drop it in the comment section below. After you do that, next week, I am going to have a little giveaway. I'm gonna be chopping and propping one of my variegated plants, and I'm gonna be sending it to you, whoever the winner is. So all you gotta do is just leave a comment, tell me your favorite variegated plant. That's all. So I'm excited to see who wins that. Thank you guys so much for joining me in today's video. And if you like to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. And hopefully I'll see you Wednesday. I got some stuff going on this week, but I'm gonna try to make it back Wednesday. It's just lots going on, you know. All right guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.